What's going on, y'all? This is Francisco with Covenant Dispatch LLC, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here on my channel watching any of my videos, do me a favor. Under this video, please hit that subscribe button and then also hit that notification bell so that you can be alerted for when we post any future videos. Lastly, hit that like button below this video as well so that this video can reach a broader audience and people can learn about the topics of independent freight dispatching. Now, with that being said, we don't just talk about independent freight dispatching, but that's just been my emphasis on this channel for the past few months. Eventually, we'll be shifting into Amazon relay, box trucking, how to start a fleet, and things like that. So anyways, let me jump right into the topic of this video. As you can see in the title, we're going to just talk about 3 specific reasons why I believe independent freight dispatching is not going to go anywhere. And as a matter of fact, I believe not only is it not going to go anywhere, but that it's going to be a vital part of freight logistics in the near future. So for any of you guys who don't really know the total legality as far as independent freight dispatching goes, I actually have a video breaking it down. I'll try to put a picture of the video somewhere here in this video, but either way, the link for that video I'll put in the description under this video. So after this, go check it out so that you have a clear understanding as to what independent freight dispatching is and whether or not it's legal. So again, if you saw the title of this video, I want to share with you guys why I believe independent freight dispatching is not going anywhere. And if you watch any of my previous videos, you guys know I champion and always stick up for independent freight dispatching because there is no legal guideline saying that you can't dispatch. You can't own or operate an independent freight dispatch company per the FMCSA. Once again, link under this video. Watch that video where I explain that. Reason number 1 why I believe it's not going anywhere, independent freight dispatching, is because of convenience. Now, let me give you guys a quick example. A freight broker operates as the middleman between a shipper and a carrier. When a freight broker gets a load or a shipment from a shipper, he or she then takes that load and promotes it to a carrier in the hopes that that carrier can fulfill that load, right? Now, if I'm a broker receiving a load from a shipper and then promoting it to a carrier, I then assume the responsibility of all dispatching duties when giving that load or forwarding that load to a carrier. Let me show you what that looks like. If I'm a broker and I get a load for $1,000 from a shipper, I can then negotiate that load to a carrier for let's say $700, which means as a broker, I take home $300, but now I have to keep up with that carrier. I have to call them to make sure they're getting to the shipper and the receiver on time. I'm responsible for them now. I'm responsible for them and that load. Now, here's why I say reason number 1 is convenience. Because if a dispatcher essentially plays the middleman between a broker and a carrier. So the independent freight dispatcher who represents that carrier assumes those responsibilities that typically the broker would. And so it brings convenience to freight logistics. And this is why I don't understand why brokers don't really like dispatchers. Now, of course, there are unprofessional dispatchers, brokers on their duties, right? So that's reason number 1 is convenience. Reason number 2 is capital. Now, going back to the example with freight brokers, freight brokering wasn't always a licensed position within freight logistics, right? And I don't know the exact year, but I'll put it somewhere on this video with an article maybe, and I'll even put an article link under this video so you can see when the FMCSA decided to require people to get licensed as brokers to perform freight forwarding duties. Prior to that, there was no license. So what does that mean? This means that at one point, freight brokering became an attractive position within freight logistics to the degree where the FMCSA or the federal government required that people get licensed to do it. Now, currently it's $300 to get licensed for the FMCSA to be a licensed freight broker. That's money. Now, what the FMCSA does with that money, who knows? Who knows what the government does with our money, all right? But of course, they're supposed to be pouring it into the overall, programs and things like that overall to oversee and make sure that we have safety within our roads, interstate commerce and stuff. But at the end of the day, who really knows what they're doing with that money? But nonetheless, it's money. What does that mean? That means, and I've said this in previous videos, that it's very likely that the FMCSA will soon require that independent freight dispatchers become licensed. The TIA actually put in a petition for the FMCSA saying, hey, you guys should begin to regulate how dispatchers are operating to get rid of and weed out the bad dispatchers, right? Which I believe the FMCSA eventually is just going to require that we get licensed. So anyways, with that being said, that was number 2, and that's capital. Number 3 is it ties into convenience convenience, but it's being, well, number 3 is actually the attractiveness of being able to work from home. Now, as we can see, post-COVID, a lot of companies transition their operations to virtual offices. Now, why? Because employers now get to save money for buildings they might have to rent out, buildings they might have to pay electric bills on, and you name it, right? And so we see a lot of companies transitioning into that. Along with that, we see the spike of intelligence operations, artificial intelligence and stuff like that, where we see things like kiosks at Walmart and kiosks at McDonald's and stuff like that, replacing people who are there to work. So we've seen a lot of more people working virtually from home. So the attractiveness is also there. The other thing, and I've said this in previous videos, is the attractiveness to independent contractors versus employees. Now, an independent freight dispatcher operates as an independent contractor. So what does that mean? If I'm an employer or a trucking company hiring employees to perform dispatching duties under my company, I have to pay workers' compensation, unemployment taxes, payroll taxes, offer competitive wages, offer competitive benefits like health, medical, dental, and things like that. As an independent contractor, there's a duty that needs to be performed, right? A service that needs to be fulfilled. You pay that independent contractor a check, a certain fee, they do it, and there's no strings attached as far as, or I should say, in comparison to an employee, which makes it more attractive. Now, I've went over that more in detail in other videos, but I just wanted to share that so that you guys see it's very likely that independent freight dispatching not only isn't going to go anywhere, but that you're going to see the FMCSA embrace it even more, but then charge a fee. And I, again, spoke about this before. Nonetheless, you guys let me know what you guys think. There's more things that I can share, but of course, I just wanted to make a real brief and quick video. As some of you guys know, we also offer an independent freight dispatcher course, and I'll put the link for that under the description in this video. Got tons of great reviews. It breaks down the whole dynamics, every dynamic of independent freight dispatching from A to Z. We also have a startup kit, which includes an ebook, all that good stuff. If you have any questions, shoot us an email. I'll put that contact information under this video as well. Other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.